Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Empowering Entrepreneurs Podcast. I'm Glenn Harper.
Julie Smith.
And this episode is brought to you by Pure Tax, another opportunity for an entrepreneur. And what do you do when you see opportunity? You run from it or you jump on it? What do you do, Julie?
I naturally try to run from it, but it always catches me.
No, I don't think that's true. I think you always see those opportunities. So what we were witnessing is at Harper & Company, we just had a lot of clients that some of them just don't need a lot of advice. They just need the task of a simple tax return, and they just really want that thing prepared. But that didn't fit our model in a Harper & Company. So what do?
Well, we created another company, right, to serve that market. And I think it really came down to being able to see the need for it and almost feeling bad that you couldn't service them, feeling bad for saying no, but at the same time being so proud that we were able to really identify the ideal client at Harper & Company, because I think businesses struggle with that as well.
Right. You want to be inclusive, but you want to take clients that fit your business model where you can be profitable and give good service for clients. And we wanted that advisory thing with Harper & Company. But individuals, some of them, they just want a tax return banged out. So we're like, instead of turning them away and not having a solution for all of our valued partners that send us business and do what we do, we thought, well, let's start up a Pure Tax where we just do simple tax returns, give an alternative.
And I think the name really says it all. We wanted to be transparent. We wanted everyone to know exactly what they were getting, and to be able to really define that all-inclusiveness with that name so that there was no what ifs, strings attached, and things like that. And, as those clients either get bigger, buy rentals, do Schedule C, whatever it is that they're going to do, they can graduate to Harper & Company, or if there's a need for it. But for that market, I think Pure Tax is going to be perfect for them.
I can't believe you're talking tax stuff, Julie. I don't know what's going on here, but you're drinking the Kool-Aid as well. Yeah.
Well, Gentry did tell me yesterday that if I did accounting, I would be considered a fraud. So
we definitely want to keep you out of the numbers for sure. We want to keep you on there doing the back office part of that and the vision and all those other things. And the cool thing about it is, clients, they don't really have a choice. Most firms aren't doing just simple tax returns. They're farming that out, and you have really only one choice to go, that's to somebody's basement, or you go to one of the national firms, and you're really not getting probably the service or the expertise that you want. They do a fine job, but it's not the same. So people want a little relationship with a reputable firm.
You mean like my dad, who still takes it to a person that's in the house that handwrites the tax return? Is that what you were referring to?
Yeah, I think that would be a good choice. But again, that guy knows what he's doing, but he's just never going to expand and do it for other people. So again, There's more and more people becoming taxpayers every day, and they need the help. And so having the ability to put them into a kind of a situation where they're going to feel good about it. And if they do get a situation where they're going to need to graduate to the next level, we can say, hey, you should do these couple of things, and let's put you over on the other side with Harper & Company.
And let's take a step back from the actual, tax perspective. As entrepreneurs, I think as we had this idea and we've kind of been sitting on it, and it would come back to fruition and we'd kind of push it away, right, knowing what we were getting ourselves into. I think one of the biggest things is talent.
Yeah.
And wanting to know that if you create something, that someone has the same vision, mission, core values that you do as you're servicing these clients. And man, did we hit the lottery.
Yeah, that's the key. And remember, tax season generally is, 3.5 months a year probably. But if you have a successful practice where you can do these types of things, people need extensions. There's some backfill work that can be done. And again, all clients eventually will need something more than they currently have. So having the outlet for that is where it's at. And again, recognize opportunities. Didn't fit the model to bring in simple returns. So we had to find businesses there. How do you do it? Find some talent, set up a new company.
You really avoided the trail I was leading you down, but
What's
that's
that trail?
Okay.
Well, enlighten me.
Well, no, I just think as entrepreneurs, I think that talent pool and those employees, I was just thinking about relating to the listeners here about how that is so tough. And sometimes you hit the lottery and sometimes you don't. And for us, take Pure Tax out of it. It's anyone who's starting a new venture that's building a team, really putting your trust into that person or persons to be able to bring the same level of service and value that you vision. It is really hard to do. And, lucky for us, we've had some hits, we've had some misses. And, you're going to have those along the way. And sometimes you get a couple misses and sometimes you get a couple home runs and grand slams. But I think as you go through that, I think it's being able to ebb and flow and finding the positive out of every situation that comes your way as an entrepreneur. And, we talk about the peaks and the valleys in every episode. And when you hit a valley, it's being able to find the positive, learn from it, grow from it, don't make the same mistake again, and get to the next peak. And, for us, I think when we were hiring for Pure Tax, we went through quite a few interviews.
Yeah.
And, the positives and negatives of the two of us really trying to figure that out, and then bringing Gentry in on this adventure with us and, having his opinion and what he was looking for. It just really, I think, helped us narrow in on that person. And like I said, I think for us, she's been a home run, but I also am relating to everybody out there saying we don't always get a home run. And it is a really hard part of being an entrepreneur and building a team. And, that's something that's, I think, really relatable.
Right. The only thing constant is change. And
I thought it was death and taxes.
Well, that's a true thing, which is important to know that because that's always going to happen. But the change as an entrepreneur, you're always pivoting and always trying to figure it out. And you cannot lose track of what your mission and vision is. And if you have people that believe in that and let them turn them loose and let them do what they do, it's either going to work or it's not. And if it works, you're golden. If it doesn't work, go back and redo it. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that being able to ebb and flow and pivot quickly is something that, drives that success even in the moment. You may not feel that way, but yeah. So Pure Tax is just our newest venture and really trying to solve a problem. And I think that's where the majority of our ideas come from, is continuously seeing a problem and thinking through what can we use that we have to solve that problem. And again, that's where Pure Tax came from. And I think it's going to be amazing. I already can see, live, who we're affecting and those people coming in and getting the answers and getting the service and getting exactly what they need. And, we're going to have someone in the office 365 days a year in order to answer those questions. And there's just certain firms out there that aren't doing that. And so I think that will set us apart.
I agree. And it's when somebody entrusts you with their financials, their taxes, and those type of things, that relationship, whether it's a referral source or the client themselves, you want to make sure you execute on that. And the only way you can execute on it, you hate turning away business. You hate turning away. Well, you want to help. You want to help everybody because they count on you because they know you take passion in what you do. So you got to find the solution.
And I think naturally in the industry, it's that willingness and want to help that obviously led us down this path of, where we are. But I think, going back to another foundational thing is we've been able to put systems and processes in place that you can literally just copy over to the next, thing that we're doing. And that makes it a lot easier, right? Because we know those pitfalls. We've learned them through Harper and Company, through other things. And so kind of seeing those and getting that shortcut to really push this off the ground quickly.
Yeah, it's funny. Once you understand kind of the process and systems and how to run a business, being an entrepreneur instead of just doing a task, you understand the business behind it. Once you solve that algorithm, you can press repeat. And if we press repeat, it's a lot easier to get to I don't want to say the finish line because there really is no finish line, but it's to get to the next opportunity and make it work a lot easier.
That didn't come without some valleys in there either. So that's definitely, helped us push this forward. To be able to have an idea and make it come to fruition quite quickly, actually.
So as entrepreneurs out there, if you're getting hit with somebody that needs something and you aren't providing that, if you have a few minutes, try to think of what that solution might be. And then again, just start brainstorming. We started talking about this a year ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, probably even longer. So it takes a while to set up, but once you get down the path.
And then just pull the trigger, right? Rip the Band-Aid off. And what's the worst that can happen? You end up in another valley, but it'll bring you to another peak.
You got it. Well, I really appreciate everybody listening in on another edition of Empowering Entrepreneurs. And I'm Glenn Harper.
And I'm Julie Smith.